For the life of me, I don't understand why you're doing this interview. I have not accomplished that much in my lifetime, nothing great, except I have 3 daughters that all of you are a part of. I was born in Burlington, Iowa, to Flossie and Marion Dunsworth, October 3rd, 1931. I lived in Burlington until I was 9 or 10 years old. My father had a bakery, and he went broke during the Depression. But before that, before he had the bakery, my mother made baked goods and carried it in a basket, carried it house to house and sold it that way. That was how we had enough food to live on. My mother always told me that I was ornery because when she went to the hospital to have me, I didn't want to be born. So then she went back home, and I came out a week later. And she said from that day on, I was about the orneriest kid there ever was. It affected the bakery because things were rationed and sugar was rationed, and most people couldn't get bananas, but since my dad went to the grocery store, would get bananas, and gas was rationed, and we lost our house and lost the bakery, and we moved in with my aunt that had 4 boys in a 2-bedroom house. We set up cots in the living room. My dad went out looking for work, put a trailer on the back of the car, and we were out in the campgrounds, and it cost $1 a night to stay in the campgrounds, but we didn't have $1. So each night they'd run us out. My dad got a donut kettle and started making donuts in the back of my aunt's house. He moved then to another building where we lived on one side and had the bakery on the other side. And then he started making Danish rolls and pies and cakes and everything for the restaurants, and they all really liked the quality and everything. So then he got big enough that we moved uptown, and then lo and behold, in the end he had a fire in the donut kettle and lost everything in the fire. I worked in the bakery and got in trouble an awful lot because we had to work so many hours and stuff that by 11 or 12 o'clock at night I was getting slap happy, and I would pester the bakers, and I'd get a spanking every Friday night because I was being so ornery. None.
None.
That's a shame. I regret that.
Yeah.
One time my mother said, "I'm going to pick up one of you and knock the other one down." My mother was not a very loving person. I mean, I'm sure she had it in her heart, but she didn't show it. And you never knew what my dad was thinking because he never said a word. He was absolutely the quietest person I ever known. I had 3 daughters, and everything that they've accomplished, and for all their children. I'm very proud of my daughters. They all are very, very different, but they're all, couldn't ask for any better kids. one after that that didn't make it was born at 5.5 months and lived 18 hours. And then Patty. Seeing my grandkids and see how their life is going and being around them. And that's about the only thing that is important in my life, has been important. All the other frivolous stuff doesn't mean anything. Just obey your parents. Don't sass. Stay away from pot, drugs. Work hard. Get an education. Always do your best. In 2005, I had cataracts removed, and then that's when they found it. Ocular melanoma, and because of the stress to the eye, it went into glaucoma, and then also I had macular degeneration. And now it's metastasized to the liver, which is not good. Now I can see about 5% out of one eye. My dad had prostate and kidney cancer. 2 brothers with lung cancer. My mother died with a massive stroke. 5 days from one another. Balloons, because I can't tolerate them. Hey, popping. Don't know when it's going to happen. Tried to get Patty to do her studies. Or try to get Patty to turn them in. Turn in her paper. No, you didn't have to encourage Barb to do anything. She did it all. And Kim was quiet. Best thing that happened to Kim was when she went to work at Jack's retail store. Kind of took her out of her quietness and shyness. She was probably, like I said, probably the easiest one. I can remember one time she got a ice cream something from the deli maid, and I asked her where she got the money. I can't remember what she told me, but I didn't believe what she said. So I sent her to bed, and she laid there and laid there and laid there, and come find out the neighbor lady had bought it for her. And did I feel bad? Probably the quilting. But then with the quilting, you were alone when you was doing it, and probably golf and bowling. Bowling I bowled from 1949 on up to practically 99. I was never good at either one of them, but enjoyed both of them. Didn't start golfing until we had a golf league when I worked at Breck, and it was more social, you know. It wasn't for, because we'd go out there and golf, and then we'd go have dinner someplace after. And that was the fun part of it, just being together. And well, what I believe and what I do are two different things. Go to church, live a good life, be productive, don't drink eggnog. Oh, that God created heaven and earth, and you have to accept God as your personal Savior to go to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to live that life, but well, I'm just would be happy that they all took the time and to come, and I really appreciate the fact that they're here, and it means a lot, you know, for them to be here, and that I can enjoy them while I still feel good, halfway good. Just tell them all I love them. And I'm very proud that they've all done well. And I suppose there's something I should be saying, but I don't know how to say it, so. Well, I'm not that strong in the first place.
Yes, you are.
I'm not strong enough to hold back this pee any longer. You're expecting an awful lot out of an old lady. So this is a dumb interview. That's not in the video, is it? Oh, no. Now here you go again, and I gotta holler at you. That's the dumbest question you're ever asked.
Okay, we'll move on.
You didn't know this was going to be a 3-ring circus.